This is Ken Smith, reminding you it happened today, April 7th, but the year was 30 AD, when scholars believe that Jesus Christ celebrated the Last Supper and would be betrayed by his disciple Judas. It was on this day, April 7th, 1712, a slave revolt in New York, leaving 21 African Americans dead. It was on this day, April 7th, 1805, when Lewis and Clark set sail to discover the rest of America. It was on this day, April 7th, 1906, that Mount Vesuvius erupts and devastates the city of Naples. It was on this day, April 7th, 1945, when one of the bloodiest battles, the Battle of Okinawa, occurred. It was on this day, April 7th, 1978, that a Gutenberg Bible sold for $2 million in New York City. The value of that Bible today, $35 million. It was on this day, 1985, that the first live telecast of the Easter Parade in New York City. It was on this day, April 7th, 2019, when Rwanda marked 25 years, the beginning of the 100 days of genocide, where 800,000 people were massacred. But that was April 7th in the past. Today, April 7th, 2020. Some encouraging word about the movement and potential conclusion of the virus. In Italy, they reported today the lowest daily death toll in 2 weeks, and is a possible sign that the tide might be turning in the deadliest disaster that Italy has faced since World War II. In Brussels, Austria, 4 consecutive days in which the number of virus recoveries has exceeded the number of new cases. Austria appears to be planning to allow its entire population to start moving again, and is the first European country to announce a concrete plan to reopen its society after the lockdown. Denmark, Belgium, France, and Spain today are examining how they will loosen some of the restrictions on public life. But European leaders are cautious, since some countries that have loosened and returned to a type of normal, such as Singapore and Japan, have since seen new waves of the virus. And what is the plan for reopening? Well, the Austrian plan is to lift restrictions in stages. Small shops could reopen by April 13th, with larger stores following on May 1st. Restaurants, hotels, schools may be able to reopen in mid-May, though that decision will be assessed at the end of April. Strict rules about masks, social distancing, and the number of people allowed into a store at any one time will remain in place for now. But public events may resume in July. In France, the Prime Minister said that lifting these sanctions is frighteningly complex, and that people in France should not expect a general deconfinement all at once. And so the rollback of restrictions varies widely from country to country in Europe. Other European countries, like Italy, Germany, and Britain, are contemplating allowing people who have the antibodies of the COVID-19 to resume ordinary life and to split their population between those who have an immunity and those who don't. Asian countries that have eased restrictions have now struggled with new waves of infection, giving everyone pause. Singapore, just yesterday, became the latest to reverse their course and impose a lockdown again. Japan has also experienced a spike in infections after social distancing restrictions eased last month. Iran, whose economy has suffered greatly because of this virus, said it would allow low-risk economic activity to resume as daily infection rates fall for 5 straight days. In Africa, Ethiopia has just reported their first 2 deaths. And so it was just yesterday that we heard Queen Elizabeth address the nation in a brief 5-minute speech where she said, across our Commonwealth and around the world, we have seen heartwarming stories of people coming together to help others, be it through delivering food parcels, medicines, checking on neighbors, or converting businesses to help the relief effort. And those self-isolating may at times be hard. Many people of all faiths and of none are discovering that this presents an opportunity to slow down, pause, reflect in prayer or meditation. It reminds me, said Queen Elizabeth, of the very first broadcast I made in 1940, helped by my sister. We as children spoke from here at Windsor to children who had been evacuated from their homes and sent away for their own safety. Today, once again, many will feel a painful sense of separation from their loved ones. But now, as then, we know deep down that it is the right thing to do. While we have faced challenges before, this one is different. This time, we join with all nations across the globe in a common endeavor using the great advances of science and our instinctive compassion to heal. We will succeed, and that success will belong to every one of us. We should take comfort that while we may have more still to endure, better days will return. We will be with our friends again. We will be with our families again. We will meet again. But for now, I send my thanks and warmest good wishes to you all. Jesus said, over 2,000 years ago. This is not the end. Do not be afraid. This is Ken Smith reminding you. It happened today, April 7th, 2020.